All right, good morning. Welcome to our Hsing Chuan program for this first part of October, our first class of October. We are starting into a study of the Returning Fist number 1. Returning Fist number 1 is a linking fist set. So quite often with our Hsing we take individual concepts. Some have multiple movements, but they are sort of based on either the 5 elements or the animal fists. This set is where we start to see those being linked together a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the individual fists that make up the set, as well as starting to work on putting the movements together. It's not a long set, and it gives a really nice flow back and forth as we transition from posture to posture, from element to animal, as we work through our returning fist. Let's get ourselves warmed up a little bit here. So we're going to settle the feet in the ground and let the head rise and fall. And then we're looking from side to side. And we'll go ear to one shoulder and hang. And to the other. Again to the first side. And the second. Let the head roll. Do some gentle half circles. And keeping the jaw closed, we're going to take the chin up and around. And the other way. The shoulders are going to come forward and up. And back and down. And again. One more time. And then the other way. Up the back and around in the front. Good. We'll cross the arms, rising up, out to the sides and down. A couple circuits to warm up the shoulders. And then the other way. And we'll reach and lean to one side and the other. Let's warm up the trunk. Let your arms go loose. Just kind of wrap around the body. And we'll cradle an arm across in the front. And same on the other arm. And we're going to come over the head and pull. And same on the other arm. And then behind the back and a pull. And same on the other arm. Let's warm up the hips around one way. And hips around the other. One more time the first way. And the second. Legs go from the inside to the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. From the outside to the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And up to your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we'll shake it out. Okay, so with our returning fist, we're going to have the majority of the kind of footwork and things that are going on in a lot of the different animal and element sets. So let's start out with a bit of footwork to get ourselves warmed up and get some leg work done. So we're going to start with 1 foot back, 1 foot forward. One of our main movement patterns from Hsing Yi is to be able to get a 60% back weighted, so we can drive out of the back hip while sliding and shifting forward with the front foot. So we're going to push through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we want to be able to switch up. In the set, we're mostly going to go right leg back, but here let's go and switch up. So we're pushing through. We don't want this to give us a bob up and down. We want this to be a thrusting motion, pushing against the ground, shifting in with that lead leg. Just a few more repetitions so you can change a leg, push through, push through, push through, push through. Same with the other foot forward. Push through, push, push, pushing through, and again. Good. Let's work on another footwork that we'll see throughout the set and as a good warm-up. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to step out, catch our weight in the mud tile, and then push and settle. So notice that I'm always kind of bringing that back foot. I don't want it in close, but I do want it to keep this kind of frame in the body. So now we're going to keep switching legs. So we're going to step, catch, push to come out. Step, catch, push, and settle. Always settling to a 60% back weighted. So we're going step through and push, zig out to one side, come back, diagonal a little bit and through. Last couple passes with this as we warm up our legs. So you're going to push out to catch the mass and then drive against the floor. Step out, catch the mass and drive through the floor, forward and drive. So you notice I'm stealing a bit of space when I'm moving into that front leg. So I'm taking a bit of space, catching, then I'm pushing and catching up with the back foot. I'm zigzagging a bit, I'm moving to the side, I'm catching. I took a little space there. I take a lot of space as I step through. Little bit of space, more space. Okay, so two of the elements that we're going to see used in the set are wood and fire. We also have a big section working on earth as well. So let's add a bit of arm work to this. So the wood fist exercise, let's start with a stationary one today to get used to some of the movements of wood fist, is that we're going to be drilling a fist forward while drawing back and settling and kind of creating this curved, structured arm by our sort of lower abdominal. And we're going to drop this. We're going to kind of pressure and drop, winding up in the insides and then driving forward. So we've got this pounding kind of motion with the arms. And this is where things are going to kind of get started a little bit with the set, being able to work through this driving motion with the arms. So we're spiraling into punch, spiraling into punch. So we're dropping the elbow, going to vertical fist, driving in, drop the elbow. We're opening the elbow, rolling and pushing, rolling and pull and push to create a deflection and drive. Good. So let's connect that to our leg work that we're doing. So we're going to have 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. So either the arm can be forward to start. You're going to drive out of the back leg and punch. Now we want to drive out of the back leg and punch with the opposite arm. So the power keeps coming out of the back leg, but being focused into either a rear arm punch or a lead arm punch. We're driving 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, while we're warming up, let's put the other foot forward so we can work it from both sides. So we're driving, punch. We want to time that out. So we're driving that punch into place. 2, 1, 2, push through, push through. Let's do one more pass each with those. So we're driving out 1, 2, 1, 2, push the ground. The punch is not, yes, the arm is involved with the punch, but the power for that punch is being developed by our pressure against the ground. One more time with the opposite foot forward and drive, 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 drive through. Okay, so let's connect to our second footwork, that step up, push out footwork that's going to be in the set as well. And now we're going to look at Fire Fist. So Fire Fist has this circulation of the hands down, in, up, and then we're going to split open. We're going to wedge with the lead arm and strike a little bit higher. So Wood Fist was down in the mid-range. Fire Fist is coming up sort of jaw level, and we're kind of drawing in, getting underneath and pushing through. Drawing in, getting under, driving. So we're pressing out. This is kind of a wedge. It's driving forwards and in as we drive through with that back hand. So in, up, and out. Now in the set, we're going to see this set up from a pounding the mortar position, but it's the same idea. Draw and wedge. We can do that with the other foot forward. Draw. So we wedge and punch. Draw in, wedge and punch, draw. And now what we want to do is we want to connect those two together. So we're going to be walking with this pattern. So when we're talking about that step out and weight that leg, mud tile to that leg, that's where we're circulating in. Once we get our weight in there, we're going to drive out. Then we're going to do the same on the other side. We're going to gather in and expand out. Draw in, pound out. So this one is done on both sides of the body. So we're gathering and driving. We're gathering, we're driving. Gather, pound through. That's it. Couple more. Circle, get under, punch and wedge. Circle, come under, punch and wedge. Couple more to get the feel for it today and get warmed up. One, and we'll repeat a lot of these at the beginning of our classes so that we can refine them as well as introduce them into the set. Okay, so what other elements are we going to see playing out in this set? They're a big part of the set. Earth is going to be a big part of this set as well. So with the Earth Fist, our foot pattern, let's have a look at our foot pattern first. Our foot pattern, unlike most Hsing Yi that ends up with this sum toi finish where we're settled in the back leg, this one's going to finish in a forward bow position where our weight's in the front leg. So again, we're going to have that idea of kind of stepping from side to side, shuffling evasively. So we're going to shuffle through and we're going to come into our forward stance. We're going to extend that leg slightly. We're going to get our weight in. We're going to shoot into our forward bow, step to the forward bow. A couple more repetitions just with the footwork. So what's tricky here is when we're in the sum toi, that foot is already a little bit lighter and easier to move. When we're sitting in this forward position, we're going to have to rock some weight back a little bit so we can step and then push, step and push, step and push. Let's do just another 30 seconds here. Step, push, step, push, step, push to that forward position. Last few steps. 1, push, 2, push, 3, push. Okay. So, like the Fire Fist and the Wood Fist, we have arm work that meshes with our footwork. So in this case, what we're going to be looking at is a sense of deflecting or closing down in the front while scooping through and driving out. So we'll just stay feet side by side for a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to go across and out, across and spiral. And this crosses and comes up to the shoulder, down and through, down and through. So circle in, wind up at the same time. Notice how my deflection is also winding up my punching or my drilling hand, my crossing arm under. There's a short little shovelly diagonal punch in here, and then that kind of spirals up, and it's kind of like an inside uppercut. Instead of coming out from the outside circulating, we're popping this uppercut from the inside. 1 and 2. It's also a way to throw and check with your forearms. We'll talk about some of that. And 4. So it's a bit of a dive in the deep end today. I'm throwing a bunch of fists at you for if you're just getting started. For people who have been with this a while, it's a good review. So now what we're going to do is let's set up. And the back leg is the one with that drilling inside motion, that crossing over. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that arm, we're going to cross it in as we go to our mud tile. So we're deflecting with the hammer side of the hand. And then as we step out, we're going to spiral through with that lower arm. So we're going to cross to deflect and drive out. Cross and drive, cross and drive. A lot to figure out here. So we have our shift across and out, cross and out, cross. So we're crossing that center line, one side and back again. Let's just do a couple more. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Good. Last passing of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. If you're just coming to this, it's fresh for you to get working on. That's the nice thing about our online. Head to the archive and you can back things up and slow things down, have a look at it. Okay, so those are the 3 main fists that will be from our elements inside of our returning fist. What do we have in terms of animals inside of the returning fist? So one of the first ones we're going to see is a version of Phoenix. Now, what's interesting in both the Earth Fist and the Phoenix Fist is we're going to be doing some interesting backing up and shifting on angles, something we don't see all that often in the just in the regular fists and animals, because those are mostly pressing forwards. Now we're moving into a set that gives us backwards and forwards motions. So let's look at Phoenix in terms of the movements, how we would produce it if we learned it separately. So in this case, what we're going to do is this time when we step through with our legs, we're going to come up into a crane position, and then we're going to shuffle. We're going to come up into a crane position, and then we're going to shuffle. So we're learning how to kind of step in with those back knees a little bit. Up and forward, up and forward, up to forward. Now, we're not going to see this footwork, but it's good to know the movement on its own, and then we'll see how it fits into the set. What are the arms up to in this situation? In this situation for Phoenix, we're going to be crossing the wrists, we're going to be tearing out, and in the walking version, we're going to come around and drive with these sort of shoveling straight punches, short punches. So we're going up, open, around, drive. Close the chest, open the chest. There's a lot of tearing kind of motions in here. And then we're gathering and driving through. So let's try that connected with the legs. So we go up, and as we tear open, we throw that knee, and then we shuffle to punch. So we're crossing the wrists. As we lift up, we tear open, and then we gather and drive through. Up, tear open, drive through. Couple more. So 1, 2, 3, and we're moving through. Let's do one more pass. up, pull, gather, punch, drive in, pull open, gather, punch, drive, pull, punch. A couple more. 1, pull and punch. 2, gather, punch. 3, gather, punch through. Excellent. What other animals are we going to see in here? Oh, I'm glad you asked. So what we're also going to be looking at is some dragon work. And we see the dragon as part of our openings and closings and turnarounds. And we'll get to that in another program, another class. But let's look at dragon itself. So this is a tricky footwork. And it's also a lot of these movements are not just pure in terms of how I would fight. I'm definitely not going to pull my arms back in a fight situation, but it teaches my body how to coordinate things. The same with dragon, but the dragon is a killer on the legs for power and strength in the legs. So what we're going to do here is we're going to kick out our foot, step down, and squat in. Then we're going to come up, we're going to kick and squat. Good. Kick and squat down. Watch your knees with this one. Kick and squat. It's really about folding in the hip, not pushing the knees beyond the toes. So we kick and down. Kick and settle. Good. Kick and settle. Kick and settle. We'll do just a few more. 1 and down. So we got this inside stomping kick. And then we're settling, inside stomp and settle. Oh, the legs are going to love this one. Inside, settle. Couple more to finish off the legs. 1 and down. 2 and settle. 3 and down. 4 and settle. Okay, well, what are the arms doing during all of this? Well, the arms in all of this are working on a tearing down and pressing out. So we have this kind of gathering and pulling and driving kind of motion, this rending motion. Has some similarities to the metal fist, but we're talking about a little more of a downwards angle. It's a lot about getting good solid arm bar kind of motions and tugs and pulls. So let's put some arms together with our feet. So we're going to scoop up with the front arm as we kick with that leg. As we step through, we're going to pull down and press out. So as we pick up our back leg, we're going to circle the front, kick, we're going to lift up inside, and we're going to pull and press. So we're gathering, lifting, kicking, pressing down. Gathering, lifting, kicking, pressing down, and through. Oh, it's a killer workout with the dragon. So 1, kick. 2, gather, lift, pop down. 3, lift, kick, press down, gather, kick, press, gather, kick, press. Let's do 2 more, across and back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift the insides, shift the insides, and down. Okay, with the way time is going today, let's introduce the last animal fist that kind of pokes its head into a lot of the work that we're doing in our returning fist. And this is the bear eagle. So in bear and eagle, we have another place where we're landing in that forward kind of position like we had with earth. But now we're working on a palm strike and an uppercut. A downwards palm and a rising uppercut. And with the time we have, let's put it all together in this case. So we're going to start out and we're going to go pound down. Then we shift our weight and we drive up. Now we're going to change those feet. So remember, like we did with earth, we shift out a little. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to pick up that back arm. As I step, I'm going to pound down, and then I'm going to shuffle to uppercut. I'm going to step out a little. I'm going to pick up. So I'm rolling up through, opening up in my ribs, pressing out a little bit, and boom, down. Then I roll back and uppercut. So we've got pound down, uppercut, step, pound, uppercut, step through, pound down, uppercut. Couple more, ready? So palm strike down, uppercut, come through, boom, drive, uppercut, come through, drive, uppercut. Last pass for now, pound down, uppercut, pound down, uppercut, pound down, uppercut. Okay, so 3 main animals, 3 main fists. We've got our wood, fire, and earth showing up quite heavily in this set. We have our dragon, our phoenix, and our bear eagle show up in this set quite a bit. Let's finish up today with one more bit of footwork that's going to connect to our wood fist. So at the beginning of class, I was showing you a wood fist where we were pressing and kind of keeping this shape in the feet for the most part. Now we're going to work on choking up. So our footwork is going to go 1 and push out 2. So we're still not changing the lead. We're just choking this back foot up and pushing out. Choking the back foot up and pushing out. A couple more. 1 and push. 2 and push. 3 and push. 4 and push. So we looked at the wood fist arm work, which is this pounding motion. Forward, turn over, punch, turn over, punch. As we turn over the front arm, we drop the elbow in the back to come through. So now we want to link those two things together with that stepping pattern. So in this case, what we're going to have is a sort of a real sort of lunging rear hit. Boom. And then we're going to drive into a lead hit. We're going to go pop, 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 pop. Let's work that on the other side. 1, pound. 2, push through. 1, shuffle in. 2, drive out. 1, pound. 2, push. 1, pound, push. Last couple steps today. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Same on the other side. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, we're going to leave it there for today. We're going to build this up over the next couple lessons, looking at foundations. We're going to look at the turnarounds and the openings and closings, and then we're going to start to put things together, and we'll learn each section a little bit at a time. So we'll add some each week, and over the next few months, we will build up our returning fist number 1. All right, thanks for training today, and we'll see you soon. If you're here live and you got questions, stick around. If you're catching it from archive, give me a text, give me an email. I'll bring stuff into the class for you. I can answer questions for you that way as well. Talk to you all very soon.